Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. Today we are going to be discussing The Last Duel. And more specifically, we're going to be looking at this article here from The Hollywood Reporter that is The Last Duel box office debacle, Hollywood's battle for older moviegoers. The period drama is among a number of fall and winter films counting on consumers 35 years old and up. Quote, the business can't rely on Marvel characters alone, says one studio executive. Only 2% of moviegoers turning up to see Ridley Scott's A-list The Last Duel on opening weekend were 17 or younger, while just 17% were between the ages of 18 and 24. That would be the demographic I fall into. I personally didn't go see this movie in theaters, but I do fall into the 18 and 24 demographic. Conversely, more than 80% of ticket buyers were 25 years old and up. The historical drama set in medieval France limped to $4.8 million domestically, behind already muted expectations, a career-worst debut for the well-respected Scott. The movie's plight underscores Hollywood's battle to win back customers 35 and older, who, before the pandemic, were among the most frequent moviegoers and would feel a title such as The Last Duel. No longer. Period pics are a risky genre, and Scott's latest feature would have faced challenges even in normal times despite major star power. Matt Damon. Adam Driver, Jodie Corner, and Ben Affleck. And generally good reviews. Heading into opening weekend, 20th Century Studios and Disney had hoped for $8 to $10 million. To date, the box office recovery in the U.S. has been powered by younger patrons flocking to see a relatively steady diet of superhero movies and horror picks, upending the notion that this demo couldn't care less about the theatrical experience. Halloween Kills, which opened opposite The Last Duel, racked up a huge $50.4 million domestic despite a dual release on Peacock. As a way of comparison, 12% of Halloween's audience was under 13, while 35% were aged 17 to 24. A parade of big-budget movies hitting cinemas this fall and winter, historically a time for adult skewing fare, need the 25 plus set to return in force, and especially the 35 plus crowd. The first to go was No Time to Die, which MGM and Eon opened over the October 8th to 10th weekend. After numerous delays due to the pandemic, Bond films have always skewed older, and I believe I said this in one of my James Bond videos that if your franchise only appeals to grandpa, then your franchise is not going to last damn near 60 years. No Time to Die launched to a solid $56 million domestically. While many in Hollywood had hoped it would earn more, it did succeed in luring older demos, with 25% of ticket buyers saying it was the first time they'd been back to the cinema since the pandemic began. Box office pundits credit No Time to Die for sticking to its latest release date. Quote, Bond took one for the team, says Ethan Titleman, senior VP at leading entertainment research firm NRG. We need more films to take a chance. Titleman and others won't mention other temples by name, but one title that recently decided to once again delay its release because of the ongoing pandemic is Top Gun Maverick, and we did do a video on this channel detailing that. No Time to Die fell an estimated 57% in its second outing to a solid but not spectacular $24.3 million and a 10-day domestic total of $99.1 million. And it continues to ring up impressive numbers overseas, as Bond films tend to do, earning another $54 million this weekend for a foreign tally of $348.3 million and $447.4 million worldwide, and that's without China, where it lands on October 29th. Quote, someone had to go first. We stood tall and the movie is doing well. Once people start coming back, they will keep coming back, says Eric Loomis, distribution president at United Artists Releasing, which is handling No Time to Die in North America on behalf of MGM and Eon. Or, as one studio executive says, quote, the business can't rely on Marvel characters alone. Whether No Time to Die, which costs $250 to $300 million to make before marketing, can break even remains to be seen. I don't think the movie's going to break even at all. You know, why the hell do you need $250 to $300 million for a James Bond movie? Maybe that was the problem with No Time to Die, is that you spent too much fucking money on the movie. The latest Bond film is skewing a bit older than Spectre and Skyfall in North America, attributed in part to competition from Sony's hit superhero sequel Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Or maybe that's because Spectre and Skyfall fucking sucked. The entire Daniel Craig era of James Bond has absolutely goddamn sucked. But I know I'm tangenting on James Bond. The next big test for older demos is Denis Villeneuve's acclaimed sci-fi tentpole Dune, which Warner Bros. And Legendary opened domestically on October 22nd. There are caveats, including the fact that Dune is debuting simultaneously on HBO Max. Also, the film features a younger lead in Timothée Chalamet. The cast also includes Zendaya. Overseas, Dune has already amassed $129 million in ticket sales. Quote, if a movie can't get all quadrants, it's like a table with three legs, says ComScore's I'm going to mispronounce his name, Dergarbedian, I think is how you pronounce his name. I really don't know about that. The thing is, though, I think what you're honestly looking at here, when you're looking at, like, The Last Duel, the Hollywood's battle for older moviegoers, I'm actually curious, how much did The Last Duel cost to make? And I'm looking this up on IMDb right now. You guys can't see my actual typing, but you could probably hear it. I'll splash it up on the screen once I get it pulled up on my end. Okay, Last Duel. 2.5 hours, that's not bad for a historical epic. Let's see if they're revealing it. No, they are not. Of course they're not. I'm gonna try Box Office Mojo real quick. Let's see if anyone's gonna be honest about the budget for the movie. Yeah, I'm not seeing any reported budget. Let me go the old school route. One last try and true math. Okay. No, not reported Duel. Reported budget. I'm an idiot. Okay, Last Duel reported budget, Okay, here we go. I found something, where was it? Oh, shit. Look something here, oh, here we go. Again, it was a $100 million budget. That's where it is. And I'm sorry, guys, I can't show that up on the screen right now, but, see, I think what you're ultimately seeing, and I reported on this back last October, so over a year ago when I actually initially started TMRP, which I killed the series, and I titled that episode The Death of the Blockbuster. And I did that for a specific reason, because what you're ultimately seeing is these $100 to $200 million movies, need to make, I believe No Time to Die needed to make anywhere from $850 to $900 million just to break even. If your movie needs to make $1 billion to be profitable, I'm sorry, that's not a long-term viable business model. Not every movie can make over $1 billion. In fact, that used to be a rarity. But, maybe Hollywood should not have allowed the middle market to die. And could they really have not brought the budget down on a movie like The Last Duel? Let's be 100% honest. I remember going to see Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, and, reported budget of $150 million. Where the hell did the $150 million go on that movie? I mean, that movie was pretty bare bones for a blockbuster that costed $150 million. But I know, guys, I have really, really tangented. So, maybe the problem isn't that the older moviegoers aren't coming back. Maybe it's your movie's budgets have been way too high for too long. And guys, that's all I've pretty much got for you. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, I'm terrible at ending these videos. So I will just see you guys next time.